Why do I have Space Jam playing in my head right now?
Stay nerdy and get your geek on.
What's up, guys? BC coming back at you guys with another toy review, I guess, even though these are model kits. The Super Minipla Astro Delta Megazord set. And this set, let me tell you, this thing blew my socks off. For things that are so small, and let's face it, kind of expensive, these do a lot to make it worth the price. Like, this was like, I want to say like a $80, like, just in total, this was like an $80 set. I think I paid around $100 for the whole set, technically. Look, I don't know, I don't remember, but fact of the matter is, this is going to be fun. So, with that said, I realize I have both figures, or at least both kits, out and built and in front of the camera. But here's the thing. These two have so much going on that I feel is warranted to have them both be in their own video. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Astro Megazord first, and then I'm going to do the Delta Megazord, and then we're going to do them both in a separate video to talk about the combiner mode, because obviously these two combine. If you've ever seen Power Rangers in Space, you know exactly what's about to happen with these. So with that said, I'm going to get one thing out of the way with this right away. As far as the accessory area for this video, it will not be there, because the only thing that this really came with as far as accessories went was fixed pose hands. I thought they were absolutely stupid, so just they're omitted from his video completely. So his video should come out a lot faster because of that. As far as this one goes, most of his stuff is already bolted onto him. The only thing that we can really go into right now is the sword, and it's the sword. It can't go anywhere on it, at least as far as I know. So this is going to have its own video. It's not going to have an accessory section, and neither will this, because the accessory section is literally just, it's part of the gimmick. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and clean up, and we're going to get started with this trilogy of videos with the Astro Megaship. As stated, this is the Astro Megaship. This thing, in its spaceship mode, looks really awesome for something so small. Like, I love the look of this thing. It's so cool. So, first things first, one of the major things with model kits in general, this shouldn't be new to anybody, stickers. There's tons and tons of stickers. Now, I feel like color separation wise, this does do a relatively decent job, but the areas where there's obviously stickers. Like, all this up here is a sticker, the shininess in there is a sticker, the window is a sticker, these vent things, these are stickers. Nothing immediately pops out back around here. These were stickers, but I ended up dotting them in with a paint marker because those stickers literally tore off the sheet and would not let me actually utilize them as stickers, which was stupid, but, you know, what can you do? But yeah, overall, there are a bunch of stickers that are going to need to be applied to this because it is a model kit. It's a lot smaller than the actual DX toy, which I don't know if that justifies any of it for you, which if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But for me, this is all... Oh, these are stickers. But for me, I feel like this does enough to warrant the price. So, with that said, yeah, that's really all I got on the Megaship mode. Because this thing is just cool. And obviously, you know, kind of going into the gimmicks here, this opens up, and this is... like, okay. Basically, before I got tongue-tied, this little shuttle this booster unit and these two booster units can all combine together to form the actual boosters that this flew out into space on to dock into the Astro Megaship. It was something that the DX toy did, and the fact that this newer one did it as well, it makes me happy. So, with that said, I believe I've covered everything about the Astro Megaship itself. So, we're gonna... Oh, what? Actually, these do twiddle. They're very tight, though. So, be careful. Like, if you have this and you have these attached, be careful with these. These are tiny. They're stiff. And if you grab them from these things, they will snap. It didn't happen to me, but I know for a fact it's happened to a few people. So just these little guns, be very careful. That said, let's go ahead and get into the transformation for this. Which, of course, we're going to start by opening this up and yanking you out. Come on down to the bottom. Yank this, basically the whole conglomerate off. This is the shield and the other booster unit, which will become a gun. Yank off these side booster units. Savvy. Take these side sections, which will all basically just come down and become legs. Which, of course, don't be like me and forget to unplug them. This comes down and then rotates around, and my thigh swivels are so tight that they end up busting the plastic open. Like, they're like, it's not broken, just it does that. It just does that. So just get them standing, flip your hip skirts in, kind of get into a little bit of a old school BC thing. But there you go, there's your legs. Now let's move to the top floor. So we are going to close these in right here. We're going to pop the arms off, and then we're going to move them back one. So once again, pop the arm off, move it back one. Why is this one not plugging in like it usually does? Alright, whatever. Push down, and there's your arms. So now we just give this guy a head. Get your minds out of the gutter. So we're going to take this, plug it on top. This will come down. And of course, this cooperates with me any other time. I'll be right back. There we go. So it's back on. So basically, the way this works is I put it on upside down. So, be right back again. Do that. Do that. Don't rip it off and don't put it on upside down. Do that with it. Because then you can take this front section and just bring it up and plug it into the top of the head. I'll get them looking nice and pretty. And there's the Megazord mode. I love it. Like, I don't know how else to put it. I love this thing. It's so awesome. It's such a tiny packet. Whoops. And there you go. There's a BC script for the video. But it's such a tiny package, and I love it. And obviously, one of the major reasons why I love this over the DX is because it's articulated. Do I wish it was DX size? Absolutely. If this was DX size, I would lose my mind. But unfortunately, that's just not how things roll now, is it? Let's get into the rest of the actual figure. Size comparison-wise, there he is with a standard high grade and a standard master grade. Display presence-wise, do I even need to get into this? Do I even really need to get into this? You all know what you really want to see. You want to see how this guy articulates. So, let's get to it. And as usual, we start with the head. It only really swivels. And they did include a secondary joint to have it look up. But it literally disconnects the neck. Like, this poor guy is in agony right now. All jokes aside, it does have a neck joint that allows it to look up and down. And it does look left and right. That's about the extent of it. And for its size and its price, Size-wise, I'm okay with it. Price-wise, I'm not. But let that be for what it is. Arms-wise, he basically gets a full-on 360 here. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and pull the thing off. So basically, it rotates on this. He gets a separate shoulder joint to allow it to go out like that. He's got a bicep swivel, an elbow bend, a very deep elbow bend, and a ball jointed wrist. That is awesome. This does so much for articulation, you have no idea. So, okay, that's done. Standard configuration wise, you really only get the top rotation as his quote unquote waist swivel, but he really doesn't get much up here. Well, there is a designated that I keep popping out. There is a secondary joint in there, which of course, since mine has a slight little crack in it, it doesn't want to work properly. But basically, this piece can slide out to allow for a far deeper ab crunch. There we go, I just got it. So yeah, that can pop out. You can kind of see it right there. This can pop out to allow for way more upper body movement, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and plunk that back down though, because that joint does scare me a little bit. Moving along. So you kind of have to move this out of the way to get the full splits. It can't really move backward all that well. There is a hip skirt here though, so it does allow it to kick forward, which is pretty good. The knee joint, he kind of has a double joint, but that destroys whatever sculpt you had, so technically this is... Oh, never mind. He's got quite a knee bend. Not as deep as I would have liked, but hey, that's pretty good, all things considered. And his feet are ball joints. Like, there's no point in doing a jump cut. He gets a super deep ankle tilt because this is on a separate piece, and then the actual foot itself, due to the fact that it's a ball joint, gets all this extra movement, so it does get the toe tap, the toe tilt, the ankle pivot, ankle tilt. He gets everything that he needs down there. So yeah. So I did mention that he did have accessories and stuff. Well, here's the sword. So that obviously fits right into his hand. These ball jointed wrists do so much for this sword, you have no idea. The shield. Now, you kind of have display options with these. So basically, you can give him the shield. And the shield is actually very nice because it actually pegs on to one of the connection points that allow it to store in Astro Megaship mode to actually have the handle. The handle itself is on its own little rotational joint. So you can either have it be straight up old school DX toy / show style and have it face that way. Me personally, I think that's dumb. So, if you are like me and feel that's dumb, you can turn it to the side. And now, you can basically complete your whole little setup of he is a discount Captain America with a giant sword. So I guess he's Captain Britain? I don't know. But whatever. You know, take it for what you will. His third weapon, on the other hand, is actually with all of this stuff. So if we take his sword out of his hand, come in here and you flip this out, then take these and it basically just attach them the same way they'd go on if you were doing the full tiny shuttle setup. You can plug this in his hand and he gets a gun. Which I believe of all the Megazords up to this point, I think the Astro Megazord was the only one that truly had a gun as one of its main weapons. Like, as a stock came with it weapon. Not, you know, you guys know what I mean. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. It's been a hot minute since I've really watched the Saban era of Power Rangers, which, in my personal opinion, is the best era. Let's get into some final thoughts. Final thoughts wise, let's get into the negatives, which thankfully there really isn't very many. For many, it might be the price. This was not an inexpensive kit. This thing was like $80 last I checked. Like, on his own, I believe he was like $80. That's kind of steep for what you're getting. So if you're not a Power Rangers fan, this is going to be a bit of a spicy meatball. Again, my little joint, my little extending joint in his torso unit, mine cracked, so it's not nearly as easy to use, and it's extremely loose, so do definitely be careful with that. The little cannon things on his ankles right there, those are prone to breaking. They will break if you are not careful. They are tight, so they will break if you are not careful. I will continue to repeat myself until you get it through your head. Those things are probably fragile. The overabundance of stickers definitely does not do this thing any favors, although I do appreciate the fact that the face is painted. The parts of it that matters are painted, which, thank God. Because, like, that face would have been a nightmare if it would have been a sticker. I literally would have just never built this thing and just left it in the box and let it sit in my closet. Like, I hate stickers that much. So, the fact that I put these on at all for the video, you know, like, love me, guys. But, yeah, he does kind of have some limitations to his articulation, but that's kind of hard to ding him for, given what he is. And I think that's really all I got, as far as the negatives goes. I literally just discovered he can do this. I just keep falling in love with this thing. So with that said, positives-wise, there's one of the major positives right there. He is articulated like no other, at least for something of his size scale. The articulation is something to be astonished by. The fact that it does so much within its price tag, as far as the articulation goes, it's amazing to see. I don't know where else to really go with this. I mean, it's basically the best Astro Megazord we are ever gonna get. I don't know how else to say it. The plastic quality feels great. Even though he's covered in stickers, he still looks great. The articulation, like I said, top notch. Again, I just discovered he can two-hand this thing. That is awesome. Like, I can't get over how awesome that looks. Just overall, I gotta tell you guys right now, if I'm gonna rate this thing at all, even though these are mostly meant to be for the Transformers reviews, as well as, like I said with Lightning Collection Ranger Slayer, I gotta do it here entirely because I feel it's kind of become my thing now. He's platinum. Hands down, he is platinum. He doesn't get the highest seal, but he is very close. This thing is really awesome. I can't stress it enough. He is awesome. He is awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. So, platinum seal for the Astro Megazord. How is the Delta Megazord going to hold up? You're just going to have to tune into that video to find out. With that said, guys, I've taken up enough of your time. This is BC saying stay nerdy and get your geek on. I'll talk to you guys later.